Hi,
Hey,
today I'm gonna tell you about 5 Bulgarian alcoholic drinks that you must try.
before you die.
Okay.
I'm guessing you're going to say rakia. That's got to be there somewhere now.
Yeah, that's at the top of my list. So rakia is traditional alcoholic Bulgarian drink, and it's made of distilled fruits, usually grapes most often, but it can also be pears or plums, for example. And many people still make traditional homemade rakia
I
at
know
home.
I've tasted some of your uncle's rakia.
Yeah.
That man knows what he's doing.
Which one have you actually? Do you remember tasting a purchased one and a homemade one, and do you know the
Yes,
difference?
I know that the purchased one was. I'm not a beer connoisseur, alcohol connoisseur, so I can't say, but I think the purchased one was clear, and the homemade one was yellow. I don't know if that was because they were purchased and homemade, or just the type of grapes they used, or
Yeah,
the
I'll
fruit.
say that the fruits. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I don't know the difference.
You
Sorry.
usually be the strength, I think, because homemade are much stronger, and we're talking about really, really hard alcohol here.
This lady's very funny because she pretends that she doesn't drink alcohol. She's all prim and proper. I will have a small glass of wine, thank you. But then when she wasn't feeling too well, she was downing rakias every single morning.
Yeah, well, so there is a belief back home that it has healing qualities,
Right.
especially to things like colds
Right, okay.
and other illnesses. So when COVID started, actually preventively, probably the first 2 weeks, I didn't do it throughout the whole year,
Yeah.
but the first 2 weeks, I probably I had like a shot of rakia
She's
every day.
Downing the rakias like there was no
Not
tomorrow.
not downing, just one shot like in the morning or in the evening to kind of clear the inside.
Yeah.
Next drink is alcoholic drink is menta.
Was that a mouthwash or a drink?
Yep, it's a mint-based drink.
Sounds nice.
No, well,
No.
I'm not the biggest fan of mint generally, so I wouldn't say that I love it as a drink. But it's a very refreshing summer drink. And when I was younger, because it's a strong alcohol again, not as strong as rakia, but it's strong. When I was younger and I couldn't afford to buy, I don't know. I guess in my time I used to drink vodka if it's strong
In
alcohol.
my time. Okay.
Like, when I was a teenager, I used to drink vodka, so
Right.
mint would be the cheaper version that I can afford more.
Right.
And because usually you drink those kind of strong drinks straight, like rakia, you also drink straight. You don't mix it with, I don't know, like juices and Coke. I would mix mint because I don't like the taste as much with Sprite. And check this out, some people would mix it with cold milk.
Ah.
Well, you haven't tasted it. So it's, I mean, as I say, it's a cold, refreshing summer drink.
Cold milk. I've got to try that. Would your uncle like that?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
It's kind I see it as a teenager drink.
I'll try it anyway.
Next one is mastica. So if you've ever drank the Greek drink ouzo, it reminds you a little bit of it. It's another kind of summer drink which is drunk cold, and it's clear. The interesting thing that it's clear until you add water or ice into it, and then it turns cloudy and little crystals are formed.
I remember that drink. We had
Yeah.
it at your grandparents' house, didn't we?
Yeah. So when
Yeah.
we go, my granddad likes it, and he thinks that it's a good thing to give to guests. So they always put you some. I always say no. But what do you think of it? I don't remember you like being super excited about drinking it.
It was. I think it was a while ago. I can't remember the taste exactly. I think it was like aniseed. Is that?
Yeah.
Was it that kind of?
I'm not very good with the names of the English.
I think it was the one that tasted like aniseed. I know that the Bulgarians will correct me if I'm wrong on this. 'Cause
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's that one. And then it was okay. I liked it in small amounts. I couldn't drink tons of it.
Yeah.
I think if I had to choose between that and rakia, I'd choose rakia. Probably because I'm more accustomed to it. Sound like an alcoholic, but I'm more accustomed to it. Mastica is probably seen as slightly higher in terms of class. Would it be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people produce it homemade, and it's something that you have to buy from the shop, I think. So yeah, in a way.
Yeah, it was alright.
The next one is wine. I know that you like red wine, so I want to know what you think about Bulgarian wine. But just before that, to say that actually Bulgarian wine is on the world map of wines, and it's recognized in many countries. We've seen it in the supermarket here. Very limited variety, but still. And I think because of the climate and the type of soil, the grapes that we can grow produce some very nice local wines, as well as some of the most well-known, types, varieties such as Cabernet and Merlot. But what do you
Check
think?
you out.
I'm not a wine connoisseur, but I appreciate that we make very good wine.
Yeah, red and white wine.
Yes, red and white, yeah.
Okay, I asked that because I very, very rarely ever drink white wine. And I know your mum likes red wine, doesn't she?
Yeah, and my uncle has many times given you red homemade wine.
Is that because they know I like it, or or because they like it?
Both, yeah. And have you noticed how they start with they'll either start with beer and then rakia, or wine and then rakia. It's like a gradual thing that you get from. It's not even, you don't even start from Coke, wine, rakia. It's like something that's still quite strong that people here would drink on their own, on its own, and then they'll go to rakia.
I hadn't noticed, but this is something I'll keep an eye out for in the future.
Oh, that's why you get drunk so easily.
I don't get
in
drunk.
Bulgaria.
Well, you know what? It doesn't take a lot to make me lightheaded. I can literally have a half a pint, and I couldn't drink the whole thing. I'm not a real man.
No.
I couldn't drink the whole thing. It's like half a pint, and I'll be like, that's it. I've got to put it down now. But the wine. Yeah, I like when your mum brings out her red wine. It's usually homemade as well, or a lot of the time it's been homemade. I like it, but I'm not the sort of person that you want to go to get reviews on wine, because I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a 2p bottle of wine and a 200 bottle, £200 bottle of wine. I couldn't. Could you?
Yeah, sometimes when it tastes like vinegar, that's like the cheap one.
Is it though? Because the cheap ones are usually quite sweet, no?
No, I would say that they're very vinegary.
There you go. I don't know.
And I even drink less wine than you.
Well, yeah, there you go. I like your mum's wine. I think it's dry wine, isn't it? I like the red wine that makes your tongue feel gritty.
Oh.
I don't like it when it's just like water.
Yeah.
I think, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I like it when it makes your tongue feel gritty. So I'm thinking that's what it's classed as dry wine.
Yeah, I think that's
So
correct.
as long as it's dry and it's red, then I'm gonna like it. I don't really mind too much sweetness or bitterness, but now we're digressing a little bit.
So just to sum up, if you really have to choose, would you choose British red wine or Bulgarian red wine?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Bulgarian all the way.
Thank you. I mean, yeah. Be honest.
Yeah.
Our last alcoholic drink that you should try if you visit Bulgaria, or even if you find it in your own country, is pelin. Pelin is derived from wine, and it's very bitter in taste. It's quite bitter, not very bitter, it's bitter. It's interesting that the herb pelin is added to the drink in the process of fermentation, which gives that bitter taste. You can actually add other things. This is the main herb, but you can add other herbs such as chamomile, rosehip, apples. Some people add small pieces of apples, and it's very important that the drink matures in oak casks, because again it gives that bittery taste.
Have I had this drink before? I don't
You
remember.
have. My
I don't remember
grandmother really loves it, and every time we go she tries to give us, and I think because we don't want to, because in the house she's like the only one that drinks it. My grandfather drinks beer and normal wine, but she really likes pelin, but I don't like it. So I think when we went once or twice she tried to give it to you, and I think you had a little bit, but you definitely, I remember you preferring more wine or beer.
The way you just explained the way this drink is made and tastes and what they put into it, it sounds nice. But so if it sounds nice, then I don't see why I wouldn't have liked it.
I don't know, it's a very it's a wine derived drink, but it's a very specific taste. So I guess it's not to everyone's liking. As I say, she's the only one in the household that likes it. So I don't think it's everyone's cup of tea, but it's definitely worth trying.
Okay, so I've just done a quick search online for this drink that apparently I've had. Fun fact, the EU has agreed to accept it as a Bulgarian trademark, describing it as a wine-based drink. How do you get a wine-based drink or a wine drink? But yeah.
Well, I guess because when you start adding to it and you do the fermentation and the storage of it in different way,
Like you just said, yeah.
I guess it's almost like rum and whiskey, they are they have to be in specific temperature, stay for a certain time. But then when you start adding things and the process changes, you get, and there's such different drinks in taste. So
I didn't know you knew so much about alcoholic drinks.
yeah, you know, for somebody that doesn't drink. So what Bulgarian drinks have you tried in the past, and which of the ones that I have listed you'd want to try in the future? Tell us in the comments below.